I'm Richard Cartwright, welcome to my channel. Today I have a brilliant tip. For me, it's one of my all-time favourite tips for a lot of amateur golfers out there who struggle to get that ball up in the air. Yeah, it might be because that club isn't reaching the ground. It might be because that club isn't getting down underneath the golf ball. But even if you're striking it well, sometimes that ball still doesn't get any air time, and especially with the longer clubs, you sort of 5-iron upwards, you 5-iron, your hybrid, your 3-wood, especially your driver, might feel like it's coming out the club face really nice, might feel like you're striking the middle, but you're still hitting that ball low. This is probably more than likely what's happening. When we deliver the golf club down, when we deliver that golf club in the downswing, what is more than likely happening here is your head and your body is getting far too far out in front of the golf ball. Okay, when we get a little bit too much out in front of the ball, what's happening to the loft on the golf club? Correct, that loft is going down. That loft, there's no loft on that golf club, so the ball unfortunately is going to be dictated to by what the loft's doing, and therefore go that little bit lower. So if your ball's going quite low, if your golf ball is really travelling really quite low, you're not carrying it over the water, you're not carrying it over the bunker, not carrying it over the trees, it's more than likely because on the way down, or even on the way back, but more than likely on the way down, your bridge of your nose, let's say, let's be really specific, the bridge of your nose is getting far too far out in front of the golf ball. And then usually what tends to happen, especially for sort of more the highly skilled golfers, what they tend to do is get ahead of it and then try and let the club head win the race just to try and get some air time on the ball. It's blooming difficult to do. It's very difficult to time, and unfortunately seldom works very much all the time. So what I want you guys out there to do, if you hit the ball really sweet but really quite low, I want you to feel when you get to the top of your swing, yes, the lower body is going towards the target, but more importantly, I want the bridge of your nose to be behind the ball. Or quite simply, looking at a point at the back of the golf ball as opposed to out in front. As simple as that. That's why I love this tip, because it is just so simple. It is just trying to pick a point at the back of that golf ball and not out in front, because if we get too far out in front, as we say, that loft is going to be really low on the golf club, and therefore the ball's going to go really quite low itself, even if we strike it well. So we've got to make sure when we get to the golf ball, that head is behind the golf ball. You'll notice I've still transferred my weight over to my left side. I've still enabled that to happen, but my sternum, my upper body, my head, my face is not out in front, it's more behind. So we're adding that little bit of what we call side bend. The textbooks would say more of a side bend coming into it, as opposed to everything pushing towards that target. So if you're hitting that ball really too low, far too low, with most clubs, especially your longer clubs, really try and get that feeling. We're looking at a point behind the ball, therefore if adding a little bit of loft, if not taking the same amount of loft that was designed on the golf club and putting that on the golf ball, as opposed to taking a lot of loft away from it, getting too far out in front. Look at that point behind the ball. And hopefully you'll see that ball, one, you'll feel the ball being struck sweetly, swept off the surface, but also, more importantly, that a little bit more height to get that ball over the water, over the rough, whatever it might be. Hope this helps. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, comment below, let me know how you're getting on.